The exam, as I mentioned in class, is 90 questions. Been a long day. So 90 questions. It's going to obviously take more than 90 seconds. But you have 2 hours. It starts at 7:30, so please, be cognizant of the fact. Have, like the whole town call you to make sure you're awake. Because if you come late, it's going to be very tough to finish. So 7:30 to 9:30, we might have 10 minutes extra, but really not beyond that. It'll have 90 questions, as I mentioned. The chapters are already or have been on Blackboard for a while. So, and clearly some chapters are going to have more questions than others, but a good ballpark estimate is that half of the material will be on old, half of the questions will be on the old, roughly half will be on the new. And the old is anything before viruses and medical microbiology. So this gives you a rough estimate. Now it's not going to be exactly half and half. So it's much. I'm using this just to tell you that you're not going to get 60 questions on the old and 30 on the new, or vice versa. It's going to be roughly 45 here, 45 on the other side. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and I think what will help you is really the reviews that I've posted from all the exams too. So for example, the exam 1 review, the meat session, exam 2 will have only the antibiotics there, and then certainly exam 3, most of it will be. So that's added practice, if you will. Now I have, just to finish, I have one more set of office hours, and they're going to be on Monday morning, I think. It's on there, I'm not sure exactly when. But I think it's from 9:30 to 11, something like that. So if you want to look at all the exams, and there's one more review, which is really the same thing, roughly as this one. Okay, so there's no reading assignments, just to cover some more basics. There's no reading assignments except for chapter 7. That's the handout that deals with DNA and RNA structure. Okay, so we'll start from chapter 2, and there will be some detailed questions on old material, but detailed to a certain extent, and I'll give you some examples. So chapter 2, the part that you're responsible for is morphology and microscopy until the end of bright field. So anything about dark field, electron microscopy, etc. will not be on the exam. Okay? So what are some of the questions? And again, in 87 minutes, we really can't cover everything. So I'm going to try to hit as much or as many important topics as I can. Okay. So from chapter 2, which is morphology, you will get questions. There will be no exact sizes on the exam, so certainly not from old material. So I won't tell you how big is mycoplasma. Is it 125 nanometers to 250? But I will expect you to know what's the biggest bacterium. What's the smallest? So that's 2 or 3 questions guaranteed. And then there's record. Biggest bacterium, smallest bacterium, biggest, or some of the biggest eukaryotes, some of the smallest eukaryotes, right? The smallest eukaryote, nanochlorine. The biggest prokaryote, Pycilium. Pycium used to be, what's the, Thio margarita. The smallest one is mycoplasma. And then be able to connect, concepts. For example, I'm saying mycoplasma. What else is neat about neat. What else is interesting about mycoplasma? It does not have a cell wall, right? It does not have a cell wall. It also has 2.
Has a slimy layer?
Well, no, it doesn't have a cell wall, so it doesn't have even a capsule. But anyway, I'll address them. We still have a big weekend on Monday to